Hi everyone, it's me and my channel Book Reviews and Drawing, the Book Reviews and Drawings. Anyways, so I'm here today just to kind of introduce myself and talk about what this channel is kind of going to be about. So this channel is basically inspired by two of my favorite YouTubers, one being Creepshow Art and the other being Rachel Oates. And I thought, well, is it Rachel Oat? Oh God. Don't fact check me. So I decided to combine the two of those channels into something that I thought I would like to do, which is reviewing books and also creating art. And this is the first time that I'm actually documenting the creation of my art and kind of like my process. So it's very nerve-wracking. And I reviewed my footage and I thought that a lot of this was just so hilarious because I go from one image that looks nothing like the finished image and I just basically tweak nodes for like 6 hours until I get the image that I want. And I know this is maybe like not the most professional way to do things. It's just how I do things. I do most things in my life a little bit differently than like the normal way to do things. And that's because of I have a weird brain and a weird body. So when I played sports as a kid, people would be like, wow, I didn't know a body could bend like that. Not in like an admirable way, but like in like a kind of creeped out way. So enough about me because this is going to be less about me and my personal life and more about my art and the books that I like. And today I will be reviewing Greenwood by Michael Christie. It was on the Scotiabank Giller Prize on the long list, so it's good. I mean, to me, I oh, it is a New York Times bestseller. Oh no, it was just reviewed by the New York Times. I have the book in front of me. Um, I don't know why it's not a New York Times bestseller because it is honestly one of the most brilliant books I've ever read in my lives, in my lives. Um, so yeah, this book was recommended to me by a friend of mine who I won't say their name because I don't expect this channel to get very big, but yeah, I'm just gonna keep their name private. But basically, I worked at a bookstore, a chain bookstore, which I'm not proud of working for a chain bookstore, but it was actually a really, really enjoyable job because I love reading and I love books and I love selling books to people who like books because, I mean, that's the dream. Honestly, I have a much higher paying job now that is a lot more secure than that like minimum wage job. But if that job paid better, like if it paid a livable wage, I would in a heartbeat just succumb my life to working at that bookstore for the rest of my life because that's how fun it was. Sorry that some of this footage is like yeah, some of this footage is kind of hard to see, but this is my very first time like recording my process and everything, so just bear with me. I know also that it's kind of lagging, I'm not seeing everything in real time the way you guys are probably seeing it, but whatever. I digress. So, Greenwood by Michael Christie was recommended to me by a friend who said that it was really popular at that particular bookstore at the time. So, I picked it up, and honestly, I don't often right away read books that are recommended to me because I'm selfish and I often just read the same old, like, murder true crime books that I usually read all the time. And the Greenwood is definitely not a murder mystery, and that was just the genre that I recently came out of being addicted to. So I was like, it's not true crime, sad, but I was delighted when I first started reading and immediately got some like sci-fi, Margaret Atwood-esque feelings going on. So I don't know, expose too much of the juicy contents. Um, Juicy contents. It's not that's not like, it's not juicy as in like it's a soap opera. It's juicy because it's like sappy, like the innards of a tree, and you will understand that if you read the book. because the book is about trees, kind of given it a little bit away by the name Greenwood, so I'm not giving that much away, but I really fell in love with the main-ish character. There are a lot of characters in this book, first of all, so but it's surprisingly easy to follow. Sometimes I get a little bit annoyed when there are so many characters in a book, and I just get frustrated because I can't remember them all. Like when I first started trying to read The Hobbit and they were going through all of the dwarves' names, I was literally 12 years old and I had to write all of the dwarves' names down in a notebook so I could refer to them every time they mentioned them in the book so I could kind of like keep track, and I would like tally every time one of them were mentioned. I had no friends as a child. Actually, I did. You know what? I did have a kid friend, a kid friend, and we went on like a year-long search for The Adventures of Tom Bombadil because they didn't have it at our local public library. I think what I'm really trying to say is I'm just a nerd, and I have just fully accepted it, and whatever, fine. So, yes, the book starts out in this very sort of like sci-fi Margaret Atwood-esque kind of vibe, which I totally was digging at the beginning, but it definitely changed. It's not entirely futuristic sci-fi. It does eventually start to take place in the before times, before 2036, which I think the first chapter is 2036. Anyways, highly recommend this book. It definitely comes full circle. It's a very satisfying read because you kind of get all the answers that you need but are still left like questioning some things, but it's not totally disparaging in the sense that it's going to leave you angry. Like some books, I'm not going to mention names. I'm not going to mention names. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, I don't really know how to review books, it turns out. I'm just kind of talking and recommending this book. So the character I'm drawing right now is actually Jake Greenwood, which is the first initial main character. Like I said, there are many main characters. This is just kind of the way I've imagined her, which is kind of somewhat based off of the image of Anne Hathaway with short hair, but not entirely. Also, I want to explain, sometimes my desktop camera is going to show like random serial killers because when I'm drawing, I'm actually listening to a lot of true crime. Again, I have a bad obsession with true crime, and you might be asking, why not talk about true crime instead of books? And it's like, I want to draw something relevant to what I'm talking about. That's the only critique I have of creepshow art is sometimes I'm just like, okay, you're gonna draw a girl with eyes when you talk about Onision, and it's kind of unrelated, but okay. Anyways, I think I should have stopped the illustration right here. This is where I think the illustration was okay. I am actually looking at the finished illustration right now, and I'm kind of a little like, probably just should have left it. And I think that's my biggest problem as an artist, is that I kind of like just go too far and don't stop when I'm ahead. But I guess I will let you guys be the judge of that. I still really like this image more than the initial image of just like a wobbly, like what the frick thing is going on. But yeah, so anyways, mostly hasn't been a book review, but just me talking. But yeah, this is supposed to be great. Jake Greenwood, and you don't even learn until like the end of the book that her full name is Jacinda. And I was like so stoked that someone named their child, who is female presenting, Jake, because I just thought it was so cute. Like I just think that's a really cute girl name. But then you realize that it's Jacinda, and then I started to question like the mother of the child or the parents who named this child. Like, why would you? Jacinda? I mean, maybe that's a good name. Maybe there are some really great people out there named Jacinda and I'm just totally off my rocker. Just let me know. Just correct me. Don't be afraid to come at me because I'm just a human being that's learning in the world, and I make lots of mistakes and say a lot of things that sometimes I disagree with later, and I'm totally willing to change my mind. So if you love the name Jacinda, good for you. I like the name Jake a lot. I'm not huge on Jacinda. But anyways, we are coming to an end of this illustration, so thank you for bearing with me. I will do a little bit more research the next time I do a book review, just so that I have more interesting things to say, because I'm so scared right now. Like my main fear right now is just like spoiling things. Oh yeah, that's me watching one of my favorite true crime YouTube channels. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you're curious about my process a bit more, maybe I'll do a little bit more of a tutorial next time. You see, you know what I'm talking about? Like the before the illustration, like a few minutes ago, was something I appreciated a lot more than this illustration. Like the finished product. Sometimes I need to stop when I'm ahead, kind of thing. But yeah. And then after, so I'm like, tweaking the eyes. I can tweak eyes for, my entire life. Then I decided to try to make it a little bit more Greenwood related by like illustrating these tree rings, but then I got really nervous because I was like, I don't know if I love this illustration so much anymore. And then I kind of just like gave up. So I'll show you what it looks like, the whole illustration, and it looks like this. There it is. Should have stopped when I was ahead. But thanks for watching, guys. That's kind of my process. I want to go into more detail later, but yeah. Okay, bye.